The Holly Kane Experiment is a dark psychological thriller about mind control, and it's about a woman called Holly who's an experimental psychologist, and she's developed a groundbreaking technique whereby she's able to implant thoughts into the subconscious, and we gradually find out that she has become the subject of her own experiment.
Holly, she's the protagonist, so she kind of drives the whole story. And she is a psychologist, and she works in experimental psychology. She develops a technique that uses a few different things, flotation tanks, binaural tones, subliminal suggestion, and her little secret, which is a potion of quite hallucinogenic drugs. It was funny at first because it was just me, the only actor, and I was like, wow, this is kind of like, I suppose it was good because it was helping me get into it. I was like, wow, this is really lonely. It's just me sat on a settee imagining and hearing all these different things. So then when the other cast started coming, that was really nice. And you really feel like a difference in the characters and the scenes that we've been doing. And Nick is great as well. Nick is here. Just chat to him as well, because you learn so much, especially of older actors. He's got, a career of 50 years or something ridiculous. Yeah, it's amazing.
The film's a psychological thriller, and there's a girl who is working on mind control techniques, and I work for some kind of strange government organisation. We haven't quite worked out what yet, but I'm quite powerful, and we get interested in her because it could be used, obviously, in warfare. I inveigle my way into her life and then become physically attracted to her. So I use her own techniques to get my wicked way with her. She's terrific. She's a real find. She's a wonderful actress. She looks great on camera, and I'm quite intimidated by her. I think she's absolutely terrific. She's certainly one to watch. I shall watch her. I'm watching rather too much of her at the moment anyway.
She's trying to get through some of her own issues by using this technique, but she wants to put it out into the world to hopefully help other people as well, who are struggling with kind of limiting thoughts in their subconscious. I started looking at the things that she used in her technique, so I went into a flotation tank. It's quite a large tank, and you get in, and it's sensory deprivation, basically. So you get in, and there's so much salt in the water that you float, and it's at the perfect temperature for your body, so it kind of, you don't get hot, you don't get cold, it kind of feels like you're just part of the water. That's the idea anyway. There's no light as well. So I did that, and you do that for an hour, and it can be really interesting. People have said that they can start seeing things, and I did towards the end. I started seeing these bizarre patterns, and it felt like I was floating upside down at one point. It's really good. I would recommend doing it, actually.
Action.
Here we are. No. How can I be of service to you? I started in rock and roll. I made my first single. I cut my first single in 1961, but everybody cut a single in 1961. All young actors cut singles in those days, and I spent most of the 60s in musicals in the West End until Frank Dunlop started the Young Vic in 1970, and that's when I started doing so-called straight acting. So from there, I went to the Royal Shakespeare Company, the National Theatre, and I worked in the theatre for years and years and years. But I developed 2 cancers, which stopped me doing theatre. But I don't mind. I did 50 years of it. And so I'm now doing nice little films and bits of tellies, and I'm kind of semi-retired, but enjoying it. The profession has become so overcrowded. When I joined the union in 1961, when I joined Equity, there were 14,000 members of Equity, and 5 times the amount of work that we have now. We had movies, B-movies, television drama, and the reps. That's all gone. Now there's 37,000 members, a fifth of the work. And because of Maggie, you don't have to be a member either. So it's shocking. I'm very lucky. I've got 3 grown-up sons, and they're all very successful composers, no actors.
Because we've run out of daylight. Well, we were going to shoot it on that chair there, but we're running out of daylight, so now we're going to shoot the scene in front of the big one, light it for daylight behind. In the film, we're actually going to have it so that we pull out of her in a float tank, and as we pull out, she emerges that she's in a sea of water. So it's actually going to be in a big ocean with big waves crashing down in the sea and the rain. And this is her emotional state. This is showing what because she's been brainwashed. But we needed a location today that sold Marvin as a very high-powered government official. And we're on the penthouse on the 11th floor, right at the very top, and you've actually got a 360 view. You've got everything there. And it is, this is Marvin. I am Marvin. Welcome to my world, you know. And once you sell it, because this is a low-budget film, once you sell, you can get away with having him on a little set somewhere.
One of the reasons why I wanted loads of locations is because I think if you do a low-budget film and you set it in one place, you kind of give away the fact that it's low budget, even if you make a good job of it. So I'd rather have kind of a bigger, more diverse canvas and just kind of squeeze everything out those locations as you can. I often say to Hayden when he's lighting a scene, I'll just say, you know, light it, give me a box to work in, and then I'll choose the shots. And I think it's the same if you haven't got a lot of money. You just have to find a way to do it. And it can be really stressful and hard work, but you know, most of the time you come up with a creative solution. And I think low budget, that's why low budget is often the breeding ground for, you know, new filmmaking techniques, because you have to think of new ways of doing it and ways of doing it fast as well.